Alignment on most issues, but not on every issue on the war on Iran. A shared agreement on the imminent threat posed by Tehran. The US and Israel keen to ensure legal grounding for what they consider a preemptive attack. Why would that matter? Earlier this week, I spoke to Professor Francesco Mancini, he's Vice Dean at the Kuan School of Public Policy at NUS here in Singapore. I asked him what happens when those who can do what they want.
When rules don't work, this is not an argument against rules. It would be like saying that we don't need police just because there are a lot of thieves. Well, it's precisely because there are a lot of thieves that we need police, that we need courts, that we need laws. So obviously in some cases, some leaders decide to ignore these rules and to act in a different way. And I think this is the precise case over Iran. I just remind you that we used to have an agreement with Iran, which was addressing the nuclear issue. It was not perfect, but it was a good agreement that would have allowed actually to continue those kind of conversations. But the parties that are now in the leadership of this war were against that agreement. They withdrew from that agreement, and they decided that war was the best way to address this issue. It looks like the world is not convinced that that was the best way to do it, but nobody had the power to stop. So we are in a situation in which a very small number of countries have decided to go to war over Iran. It's very hard to see an end to it. And there is also a second factor that is quite important, that there is a new front that has been opened by Israel in Lebanon. So we're actually talking about two wars right now, not just one. They're obviously linked, but the end of the war in Iran might not end the war in Lebanon.